Okay, thank you. We are limited on time. Okay. So I noticed a few of you were a bit hesitant about writing on the paper because you want to save this for later, and that's wonderful. You have access to all these materials, this PowerPoint, all these papers online, and it's from this book, Academic Writing for Publication, and you have access to this. It's completely free. So you can print these rubrics and these examples later on, okay? So please write on these papers, all right? So we're going to do an exercise now. Okay? We're going to move. We're not dancing. I know
we're moving.
We have a drum set, but we're not literally moving. These are the moves. Research in various fields find 5 rhetorical moves used in most successful abstracts. Okay, abstracts did not become a thing until the 1960s. Actually, the medical field introduced abstracts to the world, and there wasn't really a concrete, structured type of abstract until the late 1980s. So writing an abstract is pretty new, around 30 years, right? So these are the 5 moves that we find in abstracts in the various fields. So the first one, the background, the introduction, situation. What do we know about the topic? Hook the reader in. What do we know about it already? Then you present your research. What's the purpose? Is it significant? Why is this topic important? Then you have the methods section. Okay, how was it done? Did you use a survey? Okay, the results and the findings. What was discovered? What did you find from the methods? From your research. Okay, then the last move is the discussion, the conclusion, recommendations. You need to have this part. What did you find? Okay, what does it all mean? How is it relevant to today? So these are 5 moves. This doesn't mean that you have 5 sentences in your abstract. Maybe you do. But these are the type of transitions or ideas that you need to have in your abstract. So we're going to practice using moves, okay, with an activity. I left the... Okay, here's an example of how you break it down. Now, while we were walking around, Sean and I noticed that you were marking your paper. Oh, here is the background, here is the methods, here's the conclusion. That's fabulous. That's exactly what you do when you're working on an abstract, right? You need to make sure you have all these different elements. This is just an example, okay? Let's take a look now at the activity we're doing. We have a sentence strip activity. We want you to take out those envelopes. Everybody, if you have an envelope, raise your hand. Raise your hand with the envelope. Thank you. Okay, you're going to work with 2 or 3 other people sitting next to you. And we want you to sort these sentences based on the moves. Okay? Okay, where's the background? Where's your methods? Your results? We want you to put this abstract together, piece it back together. It's like a puzzle. You have 6 sentence strips, but 5 moves. 10 seconds.
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2.
1.
All right, let's
time
check
is up.
our
Let's take a
work.
look at the rhetorical moves in this sentence strip activity.
Are we finished? Are you ready to check our work? All right, let's see how we did. How did you do? How did we do? Thumbs up? Good? Thumbs in the middle? We need more practice? Thumbs up? Green? Good? Okay. Yeah, use those circles. Green, you did really well. Yes, good. Green is good. Okay. All right, so yes, we have 6 sentences here, but we need to make sure that we have all 5 of those moves, those ideas, those transitions. Yeah?
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. You know, we had 6 sentences, 5 moves. Some of the other studies, they say maybe you need 10 sentences. So when we look at moves, we're not necessarily looking at them as sentences per se, but we're using them as the transition idea from one concept to another. And we don't always need to use all 5 of these moves. If we can look back at the previous example, here this comes from a book on writing abstracts, and you can see move 2, 3, 4, and 5. There is no move 1. They start the abstract without the first move, but it was still an accepted abstract. If you looked at the rubric activity we did with the abstract that was already published prior to the moves activity, a lot of you were identifying that some of the information was not presented, right? That particular abstract was missing a few components of an abstract, and it was still published. So do you have to include all of these moves? Not necessarily. It depends on the purpose of the abstract. It depends on the requirement for the journal. It depends on the research you're doing. It's helpful to include these 5 moves. It's helpful to include as much information as possible as long as you fit the word length, the character length, or the sentence length that is required by the journal you are submitting to. So that's something to keep in mind. You might not have to include every single thing. Even if we looked back at the accepted and rejected articles, the accepted article was missing the methodology completely and focused mostly on the findings, but it was still an accepted abstract. So that's something to keep in mind as you are preparing your own abstracts, too.
So normally we would have time to write your own abstract, but unfortunately we have less than 7 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, time is going by really fast
Yeah,
here.
you guys are doing really great. So we're going to do an exercise just to check to see what you've learned today. So we need you to take out your smartphones and go to kahoot.it. Take out your smartphone or your iPad or your computer, kahoot.it. Okay. Now we want you to add this code, 161863. If you try this again, the code will be different, so don't write it down.
161.
So Sean's going to do it with us. It's going to ask you for your name, so make sure you enter this in, and your name should pop up. So we have Sean up.
I'm in.
Sean is ready. There we go. Very good. If you don't have a phone or if it's not functioning, you can work with your partner next to you. 10 more seconds. Okay, are we all ready? Okay. Are you ready to play? Okay, let's try it.
Okay, 5 questions. Kahoot.
An abstract is a what? Don't shout out the answer. Use your phone. Push the correct button. You have 30 seconds.
Am I the red triangle, the blue diamond, the orange circle, or the red square? I don't know. Let's find out.
Green square.
Sometimes we like to be tricky.
3, 2, 1. Let's see. Time is up.
Oh.
Wow. Yes. Applause, applause. Yes, an abstract is a short, brief summary of your completed research. Fabulous. Okay, let's see our high scores. That's me. Ah, Bumita. Very good. 936 points. Okay, now let's look at the question. Get your phone ready. What verb tenses or tense can be used in the abstract?
Past and present. Only past. Only present. Present progressive.
I think it's present progressive.
Oh.
Oh, it's not.
All
Very
right.
good.
24 people were listening.
24, yes. Past and present. Fabulous. Let's see who's the top scorer. Bumita again. Boo Hesti. Yes. Wonderful. Are you ready for the next question? Are you sure? Okay. Which of the following should not be used in the abstract? Be careful.
Is it the results? Is it the graph? Is it the background or the recommendation?
I don't know.
What do we not include?
Should we have results? Ah, graphs.
All
25,
right, everybody.
100%,
Good job.
25, yes. 100%. No graphs in your abstract. Should you have graphs in your research paper? Yes.
In the
Should it
research
be-
paper, sure, yeah.
But not in the abstract. It's real brief. We don't need any pictures. Not yet. Okay. Boo Hesti! Okay, question 4. An abstract must be understandable to a whole or wide or specific. Let's see. Ah, a wide audience. Yes, when you write an abstract, remember, millions of research papers are written each year. So when people are looking through your article, your research, right, they need to be able to find information quickly. So it should be available to a wide audience, not just a small group. Okay? Good job. Boo Hesti from Ipe Bay. Good job. Which of the following should be avoided? Be very careful with this question. Read all the answers. Read all the answers. Should you avoid jargon, contractions, charts, or all of the above? What should you avoid?
Oh.
Hati.
I know you have to read. Miss Casey even said, read all.
Read all of the answers. Okay, yes. That is true. Avoid jargon, right? Jargon specific to our field. We should avoid it, but we should also avoid contractions, okay? Charts, but we should avoid all three, yeah? Okay. All right, we have top scorer, Boo Hesty again. Okay, our top scorer today is Boo Hesty. Applause, applause. Great job, everybody. Thank you for coming here on a Saturday. Very happy to be here. Now, let's do feedback and results. It's going to ask you to rate this Kahoot. Were you happy, satisfied?